All right, today is the day that we put on the plastic on the greenhouse. Now, my last video, I put in all the wire lock channels on the baseboards, around the hoop in the front and the back, around the hip boards, and we got all that ready. So the first thing we need to do is put the plastic on the end wall here, on front and back, and the doors. After that, we're going to put on the main plastic that goes over the entire greenhouse. Then we're going to get the roll-up sides going so we can get ventilation in here. Let me show you what the box, with the plastic, the box it comes in, and the different pieces you get in the box. Okay, when you open your box, be careful if you're using a box cutter, because you obviously don't want to cut the plastic. But it looks like they give you 3 pieces of plastic. That there is for one end wall. This plastic here is for the other end wall on the other side. And this one obviously is the main plastic that goes over the top. Now, you want to make sure you pick a very calm day. Make sure there's no wind, very little wind, because obviously when you're putting that plastic on, it's going to blow all over the place. All right, so I'm going to explain to you real quick how the plastic gets connected to the wire lock channels here. We got this here. They call this wiggle wire for obvious reasons. This actually holds the plastic down, and it's supposed to hold it really well. So how you put this on is, let's say you put your plastic over your channel here, right? Or in this case, it's going to be the plastic here going over this way is what we're going to do now. Once you pull it up there, what you want to do is stick the end of the wire in the channel, depending where you're going to be at in the channel. And then you stick the other one in, and the other one like that. You just go back and forth, and you just keep sticking it in there. And that is going to hold the plastic down into the channel. You just wiggle it back out. See? It's that easy. All right, so we are ready to install the plastic. Now, what I'm going to try and do is lay the plastic out on the ground here, pick it up, get on the ladder, and pull it all the way up to the top, and connect it with the wiggle wire. Just part of the top, maybe less than a quarter of it. And then my wife is going to pull it tight from one end, and I'll start putting the wiggle wire in. I mean, that's the only way I can think of doing it. So as we're putting the wiggle wire in, we're pulling it tight, putting the wiggle wire in, trying to get all the wrinkles or looseness out of it, whatever, trying to stretch it tight. And so we're going to work our way from the top and work our way down from both sides, pulling it tight, and then probably pull it down and hook it up at the bottom on the baseboards. So let's get started. Okay, now we're going to put the wiggle wire on this part. You have to be careful. Don't pull it too tight because it could rip right here. All right. And I'm going to leave it right about there because I do not want this ripping here. Now get yourself a good pair of wire cutters, anything that's extra. Snip it off. This is pretty tough wire. It's very springy, so it's tough stuff. And you can put this. Yeah, I'm going to leave it right there. Okay, good enough. So what we're going to do now is cut the plastic here, leave, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches or at least to the ground, all the way across. And then all this extra here on the inside, we're going to cut that also, but leave about 4 or 5 inches on the inside in case we need to undo it and readjust stuff, you know. But so that's what we're going to do next.
Yeah, leave more so we can put it under the wood. Not touch it.
All right, so we are ready to put the door in. So what we need to do here is cut the door opening out, but we don't want to cut it out exactly to the size of the door frame. We want to leave flaps to be able to pull on it, to pull it tight while I'm putting the door on. So what we need to do, get yourself a nice sharp box blades, and we're going to cut like that. Like that. That way we can have something to grab onto and pull it tight while we put the door on. And then we want to cut this down like that. That's going to give us flaps to grab, pull it tight while I'm putting the door on.
You want Mom to hold on the other side of the door?
We just got done with the end wall plastic here, and I'm really happy with it. It came out nice. But anyways, we started at the top and we worked our way down, pulling it tight on both directions, and then putting the wiggle wire in. And then we started from here and pulling down and working our way out. In other words, just stretching it, you know. And if there is a spot where it's a little loose looking, just take the wiggle wire out, pull the plastic, and then put the wiggle wire back in, and it'll all come out nice. Now yesterday I was a little concerned because the other side, we did that side first yesterday, it was a little loose like this, as you see it right now. We just got this one done, but it was a little loose on the other side. And in the morning when we come out, when it was cool in the morning, this sucker tightened up. It was tight like you can beat drums on this thing. It was so tight. So don't be concerned if you see a little bit of wrinkling going on, like a little here. That will tighten up once the heat gets on it and it cools down. It'll tighten right up. Okay, the door. We used, this is a Larson, I think it's made by Larson, door, storm door. Now I was looking for those aluminum ones, just the cheapest ones I can get, because they have the frame already put on there. All you have to do is slip it on and screw it in and you're done. This one was pieces. They had a piece here, this frame here, and this frame here. So this here, the door frame isn't like your door frame in a house, right? So the locking mechanism here for the handle, you can see I used an angle plate because you don't have a door frame like you would a house, right? So that come out really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. Also, on the handle here, the locking mechanism, they give you a template here. That's the type you hold at the edge of the door, fold it over or the dotted line, and then drill where they tell you to drill. Don't do that. The reason for it is they want this handle over farther, okay? But it won't work because this doesn't have a door frame like a house door frame. So I had to move this handle closer to the edge of the door. In fact, it's about 3/4 of an inch to 7/8, between 3/4 of an inch and 7/8 of an inch from the center here to the edge of the door, because the locking mechanism wouldn't have worked here and it would have been protruding out too far, and I may, you would have hit it with your elbow or something. So that's just something I wanted you to know before you start poking holes in your door. Okay, so now we have to put the main plastic on the greenhouse. The wind it's still fairly calm, but it doesn't take much to lift that plastic up. I'm a little concerned about that, but we're gonna give it a shot. If it looks like it's gonna be too windy, we're just gonna try it another day. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get these water bottles. They don't have to be cold either, but you can drink them after. Tie a rope around them, and then the other end we're gonna tie to the corner of the plastic in the middle and at the very far end. What we're gonna do is get these bottles and throw them over, grab the rope from the other side and start pulling the plastic over the top, and that's the only way we can get it across to the other side anyways. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, so we have just enough on the other side for the roll-up doors, and all this extra we have here, we can use it for something else. Well guys, we got the plastic on. It got pretty windy at times, and I thought about stopping. But anyways, we got most of it on. The only thing I'm really upset about is this wiggle wire right here. Now, according to my order, they were supposed to send 42. I only received 40. I got 2 bundles of 20. I counted them too before I started. But I was still short. I was still short 4 wiggle wires, and they're 6 feet each wiggle wire. So there's one end. Well, actually, I had to kind of space it out so at least it'll work. I had to order more, but I'm missing a section here, 6-foot section, another one over here, and then up there near the bow, near the top there, I'm missing some there too. But I had ordered, I just ordered 25 to replace what's missing now. I'll have a couple extra, and also I'll need approximately 10 per side, in case I want to get shade cloth. It goes on the same way. You put the shade cloth on, and then you put in the wiggle wire here, and so I ordered extra for that. All right, so we are ready to do the roll-up sides. And what do you want to play? Huh? You want to play? All right, little girl. All right. You too, you want to play too? Huh? You want to play too? Yeah? You want to play? We'll get your toy. Go get your toys. Go ahead. Get your toy. Go get them. So, as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted, yeah, I'm ready to do my roll-ups here. All right, guys, go ahead, go play. Ready to do my roll-ups. What we need to do is cut off the excess here. So I need to get this plastic right here, pull this down tight, and I'm going to cut with the scissors all the way down as close to the board and the ground, right in the corner there, going all the way down. Don't use well, for instance, I can't use a utility knife or a box blade because I'll end up cutting the weed fabric, so I can't do that. So I'm going to cut that all the way down into the corner. All right, so now we need to put our roll-up tubing together. You got one end that's normal, and the other end here is crimped, like this. We're going to put these all together, and we're going to put a self-tapping screw in here to hold them all together. Now the very last pipe, the crimped end, ends up being out that way. I had to cut that off in order to put my handle on there. The crank handle has to go on both ends. On this end, the pipe's not crimped, so it'll fit right in there. Where on the other end, it was crimped, so I had to cut that off in order to get the clamp on there, or the handle on there. So here's our pipe. This is our crimped end. It's going to fit inside the pipe like that. We're going to get a self-tapping screw, the Tech screws, and we're going to screw them together. And we're going to do that all the way down. All right, so now what we're going to do is get the pipe that we just put together, and we're going to lay it on top of the baseboard here over the plastic. All right, pick it up there, and I'll pick up this end, and we'll lay it up on top of there because I don't think we can do the whole thing. And when you lay this pipe out, make sure you got equal amount on each side. All right, now I'm ready to put these black straps along here, along every bow. It's going to hold up the roll-up side. So what we want to do is cut your piece. You can use scissors. You can burn it if you want, because it's a nylon. But I just cut it with scissors and folded the end over like that. And what we're going to do, get yourself a deck screw. I have a, these are 1 1/4 inch, so they'll work. They'll go right in there like that. You want to put them right where the bow is, right there. And then the same thing down here. We're going to cut it off at about ground level. Fold the end over and do the same thing. Washer and a deck screw. Only gotta move the plastic out of the way. Now you want to kind of pull it tight. Like that. Okay? And we're going to do that everywhere where there's a bow, all the way down the greenhouse. All right, so on the roll-up sides, what works best is to put your pipe in place and put the pipe on the plastic and pull all the slack out of the sides here, like that. Now what we want to do is get your little C-clip here and put it right on there like that, okay? And by doing that, it's going to be nice and even. We're taking all the slack out of the sides equally. Taking all the slack out of here. Then we'll get the clip and put it on just like that. And put them on all the same like that, all the way down. That way everything will be equal when you start cranking it up. And this should all go up at the same time. Because we had a little trouble it bowing down a little bit in some certain areas because we weren't connecting them all the same way. Again, pull your plastic down and pull it up here. Get all the slack out of this. Get your little C-clip. Just like that. Now we want to put our handle on. And we want to put the handle facing in towards the greenhouse. Alright, there's one. And the same thing on the other end. Alright. And now we're going to try it out. Alright, I got my wife on the other end there, and this is the moment of truth. Let's find out if it works. Ready, hon? Oh, yeah, go this way. Okay, and put the strap on. Voila. Nice and straight. See, when you put the bar or the tubing on the bottom, take the slack out of the plastic, make sure the pipe is touching the board, the baseboard, and then put your clamp on. Everything will be the same, so when you start cranking it, it'll all raise the same. Nice. Now we got nice airflow going through on the other side, all the way through. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is put on our wind strapping. The wind strapping is going to go in between each bow, so it's going to go right here. Now, the problem I'm seeing right now is I don't think I have enough of this strapping left, because I used it for here. And I'm supposed to have enough to do the wind strapping here. Now, this was a 300-foot roll. This might be good for a 30-something or maybe even a 40-foot greenhouse, but a 60-foot greenhouse, they should have given me a little more. But we'll see. So right now we're supposed to put it on every one, but just right now, since I don't think I have enough, I'm going to put it on every other one just to see if I can at least get that much done. I'll probably have to order more, but we'll see. So what I have here is water bottle tied to the end of this, so I'm going to throw this over on the other side, and we're going to attach it right here to the hip board on both sides, same way we connected the straps here. And like I said, we're going to do every other one for now and see if I have enough. Alright guys, and on this end here, we're just going to get like a little deck screw, it's a 1 1/4 inch with a, I think this is a 3/16 washer on there. We're going to fold this one end over like that. Put the screw right through there like that. And you want to mount it in between the bows. It doesn't have to be perfect, just get it close. Now from the other end, we're going to pull it tight, cut it where we need to, and do the same thing. Now we want to make sure we get all the twist out of it. Alright, so now I got the twist out of the strap, and you want to cut it right at the base, right at the bottom of the board. We'll try that. Now I can flip the end over. And then we're going to put a screw right there. You don't want this super tight, just enough to hold this plastic down just a little bit. I should do it. I can always tighten it more later. Alright guys, so I am officially almost done. And the reason why I say that is because I'm short about 3.5 pieces of wiggle wire. Here, there, and up there. Not a big deal. Strapping, obviously I'm short on that too. I tried doing every other one, but I only got to here. If I would have had enough to do two more sections here, I would have been all right. But so wiggle wires on the order. I also ordered some poly tape in case anything happens, any holes. I can fix it with the poly tape. It looks just like this stuff, but it's tape. Also the strapping here, that's going to be on order now. But that's just piddly stuff. I'm not going to cry over that. But the main structure, the main greenhouse structure, I'm really happy with, because at Grower Solution, they have reasonably priced greenhouses, and they're decent quality too. I'm really happy with that. You don't break the bank, and you get a decent greenhouse. I've looked at other greenhouses online, and they were either too cheap looking or way too expensive. And I don't need anything super expensive. I want to just grow some vegetables in the wintertime and help grow some food for us, you know. So yeah, they're decently priced, decent quality greenhouse, and I'm really happy with them. Let me take you inside real quick here. All right, so again, the greenhouse is 20 feet wide by 60 feet long, and it is 10 feet high. So we've got plenty of height if we needed to. The beds here are 7 feet long, 3 feet wide. We have 20 of them. They're a foot tall, and I think it's going to really work out good for us this fall and winter and early spring to grow all our leafy greens. We ordered just tons and tons of different types of lettuces I never even heard of before. Lettuces and spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, all cold hardy stuff. So we will see. You know, this winter, this is our first attempt at growing anything in a greenhouse. I've never had a greenhouse before, but I know we have to grow food in light of what's going on in the world, and you guys all see it in the politics and the news, just the craziness that's going on in everything right now, the riots and all the stupidity that's going on. Grow your own food, people. All right, so growersolutions.com. Again, your decently priced greenhouse, good quality. Use Pete B at checkout. You'll get 10% off on everything. I'm going to put it in the description. 10% off everything except for their shade cloth. Okay. Anything else? I guess that's it, guys. So thank you for watching this greenhouse build series. Hope you enjoyed it. And please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.